What's going on, everyone? My name is Matt and welcome to day 22 of Vlogmas. Today I thought I'd talk to you about something that has played quite a big part in my life, and that's animals. One story that's kind of famous in my household is the story which is called The Boy on the Bench. And yes, the boy on that bench was me. So when I was a lot younger, my family and I went to Paynton Zoo, which I believe is in Devon, but don't quote me on that. And I think I ran ahead to go look at some animals, and I went to the monkey section of the zoo. And then after I was done looking, I sat down on this bench. I was by myself, and there was no one else around. Then when my family got there, they saw me, and then I think my dad went, "Ah, look at that boy on the bench." And somehow that escalated into some story where a random family, which is my family, came over to the bench and adopted me because I had no actual family, because I was living with the monkeys, because I was the little monkey. And the best part about this story is that about a year ago, I think it was, I managed to convince my friend Dave, which you've seen in a few videos on this channel, that that story was actually true. And he was asking me stuff like, "Oh, well, where were your actual parents? What did you do for school before you got found?" I managed to convince him that my mum and dad now weren't actually my mum and dad, and that they found me on the bench that day after I'd been living with the monkeys for years. And I have no idea how I pulled that off. So that is the story of the boy on the bench. I've never actually found my true parents. You know, if we're going with the story and going with what Dave believed for a few seconds before he felt like a bit of an idiot. And even since before that story took place, I have loved animals. I just think they are absolutely amazing. One thing that really annoys me is that I love cats. I became really close friends with my old best friend's cat, and we used to see each other every day, and I'd play with her, and it'd be really amazing. But then just as I started going through puberty, I suppose it was, I started developing an allergy to cats. So if you're born with an allergy to an animal, you grew up probably not really liking it because you associate it with allergies. But because I wasn't essentially born with this allergy and I came to love the animal, it was then really difficult for me to stay away. Nowadays when I see a cat, I do still pet it occasionally, but then go viciously wash my hands, because if I touch my face after I've touched a cat, then all hell breaks loose and I can barely see. Oh, but that sucks because I really love cats. I'm pretty sure that Jasmine's cat Mitzi, which you can see on my Instagram if you go and follow me at FarFromFilm, but I'm pretty sure that she thinks I hate her because I always have to push her away with like a cushion. I don't hate you, Mitzi. Not that you're watching this, but I don't hate you. It's just, I can't touch you. One thing that I've done a couple of times is go to Europe's only tropical jungle, which is in Tenerife, and it's called Jungle Park, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I really enjoy it, and when I go back to Tenerife in the summer, I really hope there's some way that we can go again. I won't go into that too much, but basically there's lions, there's tigers. Don't know about bears, so I can't really do the saying. There were white lions and white tigers, which were just mind-blowing to me. I just sat there and stared at them for so long. I just couldn't believe it. It defied everything that I thought was true about tigers and lions. I think for a while I did actually want to be a zookeeper, but then when I got a bit older, I found out how terribly paid the zookeepers are, and I thought, you know what, maybe I could do something else and just enjoy animals in my spare time. That way I also don't have to shovel up their mess, if you get what I'm saying. But seriously, Monkey World, zoos, Jungle Park, anything to do with animals, then sign me up. Even like Farmer Palmer's, if you know what that is. It's like a farm with animals and stuff. I love it. Like pigs, goats, any animal, I just love them. Now, before I end this video, I'd like to tell you a story about the only pet that I've ever owned. As far as I'm aware, my dad is allergic to every kind of house pet because they all have fur, and he's allergic to that sort of fur, so dogs and cats and all that stuff he's allergic to. So we've never been able to have one, which does kind of suck. But when I was younger, we did have a couple of fish. Whether it was a couple of goldfish or just one, I don't remember, because obviously I was 1 year old, so I'm not going to remember that stuff. But I know we had at least one goldfish. And hey, maybe when I was growing up we would have had more fish, but unfortunately, me and my brother killed it. Why am I laughing at that? That is not funny, that is tragic. But anyway, this is what happened. For some reason, either we managed to grab the fish food or we were entrusted to feed the fish. Either way, we got the tin of fish food and poured it all in the tank. Not just a little bit, or the recommended daily amount of 2,000 calories for the fish. All of it. But to be fair, you can't really blame us. We're 1 year old, we're told to feed the fish, so we pour the food in the tank. It's what the fish does next that is just dumb. As much as I wish I could eat all the food that I ever see, I can't. And I know my limits to an extent. But this fish didn't. It saw the food, so it ate it. It truly was a seafood diet. Best joke I've ever said on my channel. But that meant that the fish kept eating and eating and eating, and the way I was told the story is that the fish exploded. It literally exploded. When I imagine fish food, I just imagine little flakes of things, maybe little biscuits. So how can that make a fish explode? And more importantly, why didn't it stop? But yeah, that's that. That's kind of my animal stories. You learn about the boy on the bench, you learned about my cruddy allergies, and you learnt about the tale of the goldfish. The exploding goldfish. So do you have any pets? Let me know in the comments below, and better yet, send me a picture of your pet on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll look at it, tweet it out maybe, and that would be really awesome. I'd love to see your guys' pets. But that does it for this video. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to smack that like button, and as always, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys!